Hello, Darby parents, and welcome to Darby Middle School. I appreciate you taking time to listen to this presentation in order to help your student be more successful this upcoming school year. I'm Dr. Katie Kramer Hall, the principal here at Darby. We have two assistant principals, Ms. Malib Kelly and Mr. Sean Hinkle. We have two counselors that also work in the office, Ms. Cherry Byford and Ms. Cassidy Hodge, who are always here for you and your students with anything that they need. They are working hard right now getting students' schedules ready to go for the first week of school. If you've been past Darby in the last year, you will know that we are under a pretty big construction project. We are fortunate enough to be one of the schools that had capital improvements through the work of Vision 2023. We've had a lot of updates to our building throughout this project, and here are some of them. We have a new administrative and counseling office areas that I hope to show you here within the next month when you visit our school. We have new secure entrances all the way around our building. We have a new media center that is in progress of being finished and set up for students to use. We have new covered areas to connect all of our buildings here at Darby, so students will be able to change classes even in different buildings and stay out of the rain and the weather. We've added additional classrooms. We've remodeled and enclosed open classrooms. We have new student restrooms on all 3 floors. We have upgraded our HVAC system, our heating and cooling, and we've also enclosed the campus with outside fencing so there's not as much foot traffic through our campus as in the past. We're really excited about these upgrades and our remodel. We look forward to having an open house for all parents to be able to walk through here when everything is completely finished. We'll make sure to invite everybody out and see it. So we're moving from a junior high in the past to a new middle school, and I want to talk a little bit about our middle school mindset that we're going to focus on. All 6th grade core classes will be on the 2nd floor. So we're going to make sure that our 6th graders are taken care of in this transition, and all of their core classes, which is math, science, English, and social studies, will be on the 2nd floor together. All 7th and 8th grade core classes will be on the 3rd and 4th floor, but they will be separated out. So the 7th and 8th grade will have different floors, but they'll have their own sides of the building. All of the elective classes that your student picks will be close to their grade level classrooms. So for example, all 6th graders are going to take a STEM class and a career connection class. Those elective classes will be located on the 2nd floor, close by their core classes. Each grade will have a separate lunch shift to be able to eat with just their same age peers. And we're also adding additional adult supervision in our common areas to make sure that our younger students know where to go in between classes. New this year in all middle schools in Fort Smith is a 25-minute cornerstone class. And this is going to be your class listed on your student schedule. It will be 3rd period on your student schedule. All students will be assigned an advisory teacher for the year for their 3rd period, but this period is going to look a little bit different every single day of the week. So on Monday, students will go to their 3rd period advisory teacher, and they will do things to get them ready for their week. So they'll make sure they're organized. If they have any missing assignments, the teachers will make sure that they know about this. They will check any homework or upcoming tests that they have, and really just mentally prepare to be successful for the upcoming week. This is also a time where we're going to work really hard to build relationships among staff members and students, and also students to students. So this is going to be a fun time for students to be able to play games and do some team building activities and really foster good relationships and a building culture here at Darby. The middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, students will be assigned to whatever intervention or extension that they might need. So these days will look different based on student needs. So if a student is struggling in the area of math, they might go and see their math teacher during that day. If they need to make up some work in their English class, they could potentially go to their English teacher for those 3 days. This is something that's going to be new for us, and we will work through some kinks, but it's going to be very, very student specific to make sure that students get exactly what they need in order to be successful here at Darby. So you'll be hearing a lot more about the cornerstone time period as the year goes on of how those 3 middle days will work. The last day on Friday during their cornerstone class, they'll go back to their advisory teacher and they will have a social emotional learning lesson that will be building wide. So all students will get the same lesson, and that's through the curriculum of Second Step. And so that's going to be a lot of just things that are going on about building relationships and any social things that are going on in our community that we want to focus more with our students to make sure that they know about that and they can be safe here at Darby and out in our community. So moving to the middle school, we're implementing this new, it's going to be a 25-minute block of time that your student will have. It'll be every day during third period, where they'll meet with an advisory teacher on Monday, have 3 days of really specific intervention or extension work, and then finish their week again with the advisory teacher for a social emotional learning lesson. We have 3 expectations here at Darby. One thing that really helps us be successful here is we have high expectations for academic, attendance, and behavior. And I'm going to break each one of those out. I'm going to start with academic expectations. Students are expected to come to class prepared. We have a school store and we have an office full of supplies if a student will ever need it, but we need to make sure that they get those supplies before coming to class so they don't have to leave instruction time to get what they need. So if students need something, they need to make sure they come down to the office or see a counselor, get everything they need before class, so once they get there, they can sit in their seat and be ready to learn. So students are expected to come to class with whatever the teacher needs them to come, whether it's paper, pencil, homework, a book. But that's one of our academic expectations. Students are also expected to be active participants in the class, which means being engaged in your classroom, talking, listening, speaking, writing, everything that the teacher asks them to do. We want to make sure that they don't miss a minute of important instruction. Students are responsible for completing all classwork and homework assigned, even when they are absent. So one thing that's really going to be neat about that cornerstone class, that third period class that I just mentioned, is any classwork or homework that is not complete, students will be required to meet that, to finish that work. And that is a time that we would be able to spend doing that work. But it is not okay for a student to come and just not do in class or not do what is assigned to them after hours. So those are our high academic expectations. Some quick bullet points about our attendance expectations. School starts at 8:05. We open the doors at 8 o'clock, and students are tardy if they are not inside a classroom at 8:05. We dismiss at 3:15 here at Darby. Upon arrival, all students should go directly to their assigned common area or to the cafeteria to eat a free breakfast. So students can be dropped off. They can come to the middle of the courtyard, and they'll learn where that's at. Our 6th grade students are going to go directly to the gym because we're going to keep our 6th graders separately. And then our 7th and 8th grade students will be in the courtyard, and they will have different areas of the courtyard to be with their friends. All students can come if they want at 7:30 to our cafeteria to eat a free breakfast if they want. And then after they eat breakfast, they can go to their assigned common area. Students are not allowed to leave campus unless they are checked out by someone on their emergency form. Our office does not accept lunch deliveries. We have a very limited office, secretarial staff, and lunch is very busy because everybody needs a lunch break, so we do not accept deliveries from any outside food places. If a parent wants to drop off a lunch because your student didn't bring a lunch that day, that's okay, but we will not call them out of a class for them to come and get it. So if you're going to bring a student a lunch, they need to know, okay, before my lunch shift, I'm going to go to the office and grab my lunch that my mom or dad has brought me. And then no students can leave campus for lunch, or they can only leave for lunch with a parent or guardian. And that's, again, they can't leave campus at all unless it's someone on their emergency form. But grandma or grandpa cannot come and have a student and just take them for lunch. We want to make sure that they're on campus so they're not missing any instruction. Our behavior expectations, we ask students and everywhere they go to be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. We want to be respectful to the adults in our building, whether they are visitors here, substitutes, or full-time employees. We ask students to be respectful to themselves and treat themselves with respect, speak kindly to themselves, to their other peers. Again, expecting kindness at all times between student to student, and we're going to work a lot on that through our social emotional learning lessons and through our advisory time this year, and respectful to our building. Our construction is beautiful. We're really excited to show that off once it's finished, and we need to make sure that we're respectful to our community by keeping our building and everything that they have provided for us in good shape. Students need to be responsible for their things. For example, if they bring something on campus, it's their responsibility to keep up with it. They need to be responsible with all of their homework and their actions, and also be safe. We have a lot of rules at Darby, and their rules are made so students can stay safe. That is our number one priority here at Darby. So at the very beginning, the first week of school, we go through a handbook, which you will be provided the very first day. And there are several rules and expectations in that handbook, but every single one of those rules is to make sure that we can create a safe learning environment for our students. Just to let you know, our school improvement plan that was written for this year and submitted to our school board and our state department is we have a focus on literacy, math, and attendance. Our first school improvement goal is to increase each grade level's proficiency in literacy and math by 10%. And our second goal of the school year is to increase our student attendance to more than 95%. And we're pretty close on that attendance, which we're really proud of. We have a lot of work to do in literacy and math, but we're excited to take that on and make some progress there this year as well. Some keys to success here at Darby: we have a great, wonderful, dedicated teaching staff. They will do anything for you and for your student. Please make sure you take advantage of everything that they are offering and reach out to them if you or your student need anything. They will go above and beyond to make sure your student learns what they need to learn in order to be successful. We're a professional learning community here at Darby. We work really hard to collaborate together to make sure we're providing everything we can for all of our students. We have high expectations for behavior, attendance, and academics that I just spoke about. We have a lot of parental support and involvement, specifically through our PTA, and you'll be hearing more about those opportunities here in the future. We have a very active partners in education group. These are community businesses and faith-based organizations in our community that comes in and provides their time, their mentorship, and resources for our students to have fun and exciting extra opportunities. We have students involved in a lot of things. So other than just the athletics and the fine arts programs we have here, we have after-school clubs, we have student council, National Junior Honor Society, and I know as our middle school grows and evolves and starts, we are going to have more and more of these ways for students to be involved, and I really encourage you to make sure your student finds at least one thing that they really enjoy, they think is fun, that they can get involved in and have a sense of belonging, because that makes a big difference of how much they enjoy coming to school, and it also has a positive correlation with graduation rate. And finally, new this year, we have a school-based health clinic, and they're actually having an open house tonight. And if you aren't able to make that tonight, you can swing by and we can show you the school-based health clinic. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit more about how that's going to be a great opportunity for our students. Communication, just to let you know, Schoology this year, your student will be taught how to log into Schoology, and that will be their classes online, and they will be able to communicate back and forth through teachers all day long. Our school number there is 783-4159. You can get onto the district website and find any teacher, principal, secretary's email and email us. Students still have access to the Home Access Center, which we will also teach them how to use throughout this school year. Live School is what we use to document positive and negative student behavior. We have a really cool store called the Darby Store that students can earn Darby dollars from their teachers and then go and spend that money at the Darby store. And Live School is the program that keeps up with that. And so when we send more information throughout this year about Live School, that is our positive behavior support system. application we use. We have a school webpage that has a web-based calendar that we are going to keep updated for you. Make sure you always know what's going on. We have a parent resource and counseling center here in the office with information if you ever want to grab something to read or if you need support with something. And we also have Facebook and our Twitter accounts. We use Facebook quite a bit. It is connected to that Twitter handle, and we push out a lot of information on our Facebook page. So if you do not follow Darby Middle School, that would be a great resource, a communication tool for you. And then I also want to encourage you to make sure that your cell phone and your phone contacts are always up to date with our school, because our parent link resource that we use, where you get the text messages, the voicemails, and the emails, the mass communication system from me, your number needs to be updated at all times in eSchool, because that's what that list pulls from. And we also use that as a communication tool quite a bit. On the first day of school, your students should bring home an envelope with important forms in them. One of them is going to be the Darby Student Handbook, and so I encourage you to spend time looking through that handbook with your student. There's a lot of good information in there. There's also a Fort Smith Public School District Handbook signature page. So the district handbook is online, but the signature page says that you've looked through it and you understand where to find that. There's a district emergency form that's very important to make sure we have updated information, and there's also a free and reduced lunch form. Please return all these forms. They all need your signature as soon as possible. We'll pass them out the first week, and we will also give students Darby dollars that they can spend at our store if they get them turned in on time. But those are very important forms. They're required by our state and our district. So I thank you in advance for taking care of that for us. The school supply list, I know some of you are wanting to go shopping, but this was the generic list that our district put out for the secondary schools or the middle schools. Internet access, which if you need help with internet access, we can help you out with that. We can check you out a hotspot through our media center. Notebooks, black pens, pencils, folders, colored pencils, highlighters. So anything that you can get from this list, that would be great. We do, again, have a school store where students can come and use Darby's dollars to buy whatever they need for their classroom. We will make sure that students will not go without, but anything that you can help us with and bring that first day of school would be great, and we really do appreciate that. I also know that students are eager to buy new clothes for school, so I just want to briefly go through our most common dress code issues that we have. Just a reminder, shorts and skirts can be worn, but they need to be mid-length all the way around the leg, mid-thigh length all the way around the leg, so nothing too short. If there are any rips or tears in the clothing, that must not be above mid-thigh. So it needs to be, again, just kind of like as long as the shorts and skirts. You can't have any logos of alcohol or tobacco products. No, for girls, no tank tops and spaghetti straps. You have to have 4 inches of a sleeve on the shoulder, and we usually measure that with the palm of our hand. We don't wear hats or caps inside the building, and any leggings or tights that are worn must be covered by a longer dress or a shirt. We want to make sure that students dress for success and that there's no distractions with clothing when students are trying to learn. So when you're shopping, just please remember to keep it tasteful and not a distraction for learning. So I mentioned earlier the school-based health clinic. So this is new and exciting for the Darby area. This is a partnership between Mercy Clinic, Fort Smith, and Western Arkansas Counseling and Guidance Center. It is the building that is on the north side of our tornado shelter. The front entrance is the 2 glass doors that actually face the football field. And when students don't feel well, it is hard to learn. And so over in that building, we're going to have a nurse practitioner that will be able to see students here when they're at school. They can be treated for acute illnesses such as flu or strep throat and chronic conditions, including asthma and diabetes. They can also be screened for vision and hearing problems. So this clinic has an emphasis on prevention, early intervention, and risk reduction. School-based health centers counsel students, families, and staff on healthy habits and how to prevent injury, violence, and other threats. So we're really excited to have care here on campus for our students. So there is some paperwork that needs to be completed, but your student and your family can actually be a patient of our clinic. And I'm really excited to use it for myself and my family. It's going to be very convenient. And the purpose of it is so it's quick healthcare, so students don't have to miss school, because we want them here. Because every time that they miss school, they are missing out on something that is important in the classroom. And so we want to make sure that they miss no time at all. And if they do have to miss, it's a very short amount of time. And we want to make sure that they feel well, because it's very hard to learn when you don't feel good. So just a few reminders about Transition to Success. Our 6th graders will come Wednesday, July 28th, and our 7th graders will come Thursday, July 29th. Both of those days is from 8 in the morning to noon. The bus routes will run, and we do have a new bus route this year, which is exciting. You can find that on the transportation page on the Fort Smith Public Schools website if you qualify to ride a bus here to Darby, and lunch will be provided for these students. I really appreciate you listening to this presentation. It's going to be a great, great year. Again, I want to encourage you to get involved in some way here at our school. Come when we have open house, check out our new construction, check out the health clinic, and anytime you need anything or you have a question, please just remember that we are a phone call away, we are an email away, and we'll make sure that we always get back to you. Thank you for your help this year in advance of helping us help your student be successful.